Adam B. here at the Kraft Music Gallery, and today we're taking a look at the Hammond M-solo portable organ. What a cool organ for a variety of reasons. First of all, it's not just a tone wheel modeling organ. There's also 3 different transistor organs. You get the very best of a British transistor, a Japanese transistor, and an Italian transistor. If those 4 organ engines weren't enough, there's also a string ensemble sound engine with full control. I'll talk more about that in a minute. And lastly, there's also an analog modeling synth engine, and again with full control over not only your filter, but your amplitude as well. Of course, the tone wheel organ sounds, you get your sounds from the drawbars, right? Well, the drawbars are also what you use to develop your tones for the transistor organs, but they're also what you use for the string ensemble and for the analog synth. We'll take a closer look at that in just a sec. Just as you'd expect, there are 9 drawbars on the M-solo. There's 49 keys. They are the soft touch, conducive for organ playing. They're the thinner synth style key. You're also going to find a really fantastic Leslie simulator. You can turn that off. You can put it on stop or break, and of course also fast and slow. You're going to find the percussions just like you would on a classic tone wheel organ as well, 3rd, 5th, fast, slow, soft, or hard. You're also going to find, of course, the vibratos and the choruses that we all know and love from classic tone wheel organs. There's some effects built into the M-solo as well. There's some delay and there's some reverb. There's also an overdrive and a chorus. The way they're set up on the organ is pretty unique. There's a dial for each. The one dial, if you go one way, you get delays. If you turn it the other way, you get reverb. The other dial, if you go one way, you get overdrive. If you go the other way, you get chorus. Looking at the rear panel of this instrument, of course, you've got your DC in for your power. Right next to that's your power button. Pro tip, turning it on, you just have to touch the button once. Turning it off, you got to touch it and hold it for it to turn off. If you just touch it, the instrument won't turn off. So we learned that here today. Next is your headphone jack, 1/4-inch headphones. Left and right, 1/4-inch outputs, line level. Then there is a 3.5 millimeter or 1/8-inch auxiliary input with some volume control. So if you have some pre-recorded music on another device and you want to run it through the instrument so that everything's coming out of the same speaker system, that's what that auxiliary input is for. Next, you've got some control ports. One is for the virtual Leslie speed control, so you can plug a foot switch into that. The other is for expression, or another term for that, of course, is swell, your volume control. And then there's a really cool switch here for the polarity, whether it's normal or reversed. So really, any pedal would work with this instrument. That's brilliant. We've got some traditional 5-pin MIDI output and 5-pin MIDI input. So you can use this instrument as a controller, or you can control it from another instrument. Lastly, of course, we've got a USB to host port, which will be useful for a variety of things, including interacting with your DAW software or any system updates. So let's take a closer look at the control panel here. For all you veteran organ players, you already know what a lot of this stuff does. If organ's new to you, these are your drawbars. When you're playing organ, that's what gives you your tone. You'll hear the tone change as I pull each one out. And then different combinations of these give you different tones, right? So, those are your drawbars. You do have the built-in Leslie simulation, so right now it's on slow. Fast, slow, stop. I can bypass it also if I want to run this into some other type of amplifier. There's a jack in the back too if you want speed control under your foot. And then all the vibrato and choruses, just like you'd see on a classic tone wheel organ, we could turn that on. So here's off. That's how the tone changes. Let me just toggle through them to hear the difference. All right. I can shift up or down an octave with just the touch of a button. That's really helpful. If I need to transpose it all, I've got a hard button for that. So it's real interactive. There's not any menu diving whatsoever. Everything is very hands-on. Coming over to this side, this is our chorus and overdrive. If I go one way, I get chorus. If I go the other way, I get overdrive. Let's go ahead and turn it on. So there's the chorus. There's my overdrive. Put that back at 0. The other effects engine here is going to be delays and reverbs. So go ahead and turn that on. And if I go to the left, I'll get delays. And if I go to the right, I'll get reverbs. All right. That is the tone wheel organ engine in a nutshell there. If I have some favorite settings that I've made and I really like them a lot, I have everything set up just like I like it, I can save it to one of these 4 banks here. In the manual, Hammond doesn't refer to it as saving it. A lot of the instruments do. In this case, they refer to it as a system record. So it's recording your settings and storing them under one of these buttons for quick recall. Not to be confused with recording what I'm playing. That's not what this is. It's recording my settings so I can quickly call them up at a later date. The last set of parameters I wanted to show you on the tone wheel organ sound would be the percussion, of course. And here they are. I can turn them on. Right? Be a third. Be soft. Fast. Just like you'd have on a classic B3. And in fact, Hammond references B3. That's what they call this particular organ model. That's the B3 model. If I toggle up, the next is VX, which is going to be one of the transistor organs. If I toggle up again, it's Farfisa, which is another transistor organ. Classic 60s sounds, right? I toggle up again, there's yet a third transistor organ. Full drawbar control on all 3, and all 3 with a uniquely different tonality. So those are all of the organ engines. Now let's take a look at the 2 synth engines. Now we're going to take a look at the string ensemble synth engine within the M-solo. So here I've got it selected, ENS for ensemble. Now the drawbars that we were using for the organ, we're going to use those for the synth engines as well. You can see how they're laid across the top. See this bottom listing, that's for your organ drawbars, right? The flutes, the bass, 16, 8. The second set, it's in a different color. It's in more of a gold. You'll see here. I'll zero them out and I'll bring them in one at a time so you can hear them. First one is a male 16-foot. Right. Next one's strings. The last 2 are for attack and release, and we'll talk about those in just a sec. So just like with your drawbars on an organ, you can blend each of those tones to get your desired patch. That's the string ensemble. Now, attack and release. Attack. I touch the note, I hear the note, right? What if I want that to gradually come in? That's attack. Okay? And then release. What's that? I let go of the note. The note stops. Release will allow it to carry on a little bit even after I've let go. How is that useful? Well, it's useful like this. You're also hearing the chorus, because I can still use the vibratos and choruses with that ensemble synth engine. Of course, I can also use my effects as well. The sixth and final engine in the Hammond M-solo is the analog modeling synth engine, and it's polyphonic. I can play chords with it. You'll use the drawbars to shape your tone. Over here, you're first going to choose your waveform, right? So we'll start with that one. From there, so that's one oscillator. You can bring in a second. Now it's 2 oscillators per voice. Then I can play with my resonance and my cutoff to give it a little more character. To further augment my tone, I can use vibrato and chorus. But I can also use the effects. Once again, Adam B. here at the Kraft Music Gallery, looking at the Hammond M-solo keyboard. Any questions about this instrument or any of the instruments that we carry, we hope that you'll reach out and contact us. Thanks for watching.